LeBlanc from Canada Goose. Mark LeBlanc is playing Signar, and their options are Haley 2 and Siege. And Team Wombat has responded with, did you say James Morehouse?
Yep.
James Morehouse.
And Josh Bates, is that right?
And Joshua Bates. James Morehouse is Chromac 2, Kruger 2. Joshua Bates is another Signar player, Haley 2, Haley 3. So we could see the Haley 2. We could see the Haley 2 mirror match here. Apparently, apparently Team Wombat has determined what a wombat sounds like, and they do make that noise.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, so that's LeBlanc with Haley 2 and Siege. It looks like they've selected James Morehouse. So it's going to be Mark LeBlanc with Signar versus James Morehouse with Chromac 2, Kruger 2. This leaves Joshua Bates, the Signar player, up into Canada to throw down. Okay. So we have in Canada we have Chandler Davidson with
Bradigus and Kruger 2. We still have David Beauchamp with Beauchamp with Calandra and Madrak 2. I like that it's not EE and Runes.
A different matchup than EE and Runes. Yeah.
Chris Orr with Thagrosh 2 and Vale 2, and Charles Sung, is that right? With Xerxes 2 and Zal.
So I do expect to see Charles Sung thrown out here with Xerxes 2 and Zal into the Signar Haley 2, Haley 3 matchup.
Yeah, potentially also their troll player.
Potentially also their troll player. So we, unless they have.
I could also see Bradigus and Kruger 2.
Absolutely, absolutely. They actually have several matchups here to throw into the Signar list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they might be trying to decide which matchup they want to or how they want. Which matchup they think is going to be left on the table and what they think is going to respond as well.
Right,
so.
Absolutely. Interesting to see them lead with Signar, actually, Team Canada, to lead with their Signar player on Marc-Andre LeBlanc. That feels somewhat unusual. I don't think we've seen anybody else lead in with Signar, at least not that I can remember. Frequently, Signar is sort of a problem solver for some sort of specific factions like Crix. So interesting that they feel confident in Mark to sort of handle what comes.
Right, and then the Australian players do have a Crix. The Australian team do have a Crix player, so yeah, you might be right about.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like they've selected Beauchamp. Team captain James Morehouse not messing around. Very quick to pull the trigger. Selecting them off with James Beauchamp or David Beauchamp, and leaving Chris Orr, Thagrosh 2, Vale 2 on the table.
And the fact that they're so quick with their selections means that they have likely thought, very deeply about
these teams knew that they were coming into today by about 8 or 9 o'clock last night. Knew what the matchup was, so
they've had a lot
of time to think about this pairing, these pairings. So we're looking at David Orr with Thagrosh 2, Vale 2, and I'm sorry, Chris Orr, not David Orr, Chris Orr.
And I didn't see that was really quick there. It looked like Ben Leeper was put up, as well as I'm not sure who else.
Okay, we'll have to see what's left on the table.
Yeah, sorry guys, that was really quick.
Wombat and Goose, too quick for us.
Certainly this early in the morning, too quick.
Indeed, indeed.
And it was Trent, it looks like.
So it looks like the last selections. Wait. All right. I must have missed something earlier. I believe that David Beauchamp had already been selected, but now we're seeing his sheets still out here. So it looks like Beauchamp and Sung are on the table awaiting pairing from Wombat. Sorry about this, guys. It's a little more disorganized right now. So all right. So Sung versus Dennison, and Beauchamp versus Thompson. It appears. Beauchamp and Thompson would be Retribution from Thompson and Trolls from Beauchamp. And Sung is Xerxes 2 and Zal. And Dennison is Crix de Negrescar.
So they got their Crix into their scoring, which is, I assume, what they wanted.
Absolutely.
But my guess is that the Zal is specifically catered for this
to
contingency.
yeah, absolutely.
So we'll have to see how that goes down.
Absolutely. So based on this, that means that Chris Orr is most likely facing off against Ben Leeper, I think. Okay. So looks like Joshua Bates is matching off against. Do I even have this right? All right. So we're still trying to figure out the exact pairings. They moved a little fast and wombatty on us, but I believe it's Mark LeBlanc versus James Morehouse. I believe that we have Charles Sung versus Trent Dennison.
Yep.
I believe we have Aaron Thompson versus David Beauchamp.
Yep.
I believe we have Chris Orr versus Ben Leeper. And then that leaves
Josh Bates versus Chandler.
Josh Bates versus Chandler Davidson. Yep.
So we'll be moving shortly to the tables to see deployment and actual list selection, and then we will go from there.
Yeah.
So just to start off with, I guess, let's look at Mark LeBlanc and James Morehouse, the first pairing that was selected.
Mark LeBlanc, we are looking at Haley 2 and Siege.
Haley 2 and Siege pairing.
Yep. Into James Morehouse, obviously Circle player with Chromac 2 and Kruger 2. This seems like...
Or Bradigus and Kruger 2. I'm sorry. No,
Chromac 2, Kruger 2.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No Bradigus this tournament for him.
Right.
A deviation from the standard for him.
Right. And I'm guessing, I think both of these actually might be fine into Signar. I'm not sure how Chromac 2 plays into Signar. I think he's new enough that some of his nuances are a little bit lost.
Absolutely.
To me. But I mean, for sure, Kruger 2 is a known, good caster against the kinds of ranged heavy factions, which Signar is definitely one.
Absolutely. So you expect to see Kruger 2 into this matchup. I'm going to guess Mark LeBlanc is going to take Haley 2 here.
That's my guess as well, although Siege can be quite good against Hordes, just for his ability to really put the hurt on the war beasts.
Yeah, also having access to Mage Sight into Circle's Prowl Beasts.
Yep.
Quite nice. Quite nice.
We might see that, but I'm also kind of leaning towards Haley too. So I think that.
So we believe probably Haley 2 into Kruger 2. So I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it'll be Siege into Chromac 2.
Did we get a confirmation on the scenario here? Is that incoming?
It is incoming.
So scenario can actually be a big consideration too for the caster choice, and Kruger 2 being
certainly
one of the most powerful scenario casters, and this being a scenario in which it's not a 2-turn scenario, right? No, it can be, I guess, if you
blow up the objective, and if you can somehow dominate and control.
If you can dominate the enemy zone and blow up the objective, and then dominate the enemy zone again,
you
can do a 2-turn scenario win in this game.
It's
and Kruger 2,
pretty rare that you'll see that.
Well, I think Kruger 2 has a good opportunity,
Sure.
Especially if they've not, run super far, if they've not jammed super far on their first couple of turns.
You could also technically dominate your zone, control their zone, blow up the objective, and then dominate.
Sure, that's a little bit harder.
That's a little harder, but it's a little safer for the caster.
I'm just saying, with Kruger 2's potential to push out of the enemy zone.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's one of the best zone clearers with his feet.
Absolutely.
And then,
Absolutely.
Kill the objective, and then be able to position so that whatever they run back into the zone, you can try and kill with the rest of your army.
Yes.
The following turn. So that might be something that we could see.
I think you're right. I think you are right. All right. So then we have Chris Orr and Ben Leeper. Chris Orr is playing Legion. This is actually a Legion on Legion matchup. Chris Orr has Thagrosh 2 and Veil 2, and Ben has Lilith 2 and Thagrosh 2. Do you think we'll see a Thagrosh 2 mirror match here?
That would be. I hope we do. Actually, that would be pretty awesome.
Indeed. Indeed.
This is a Thagrosh. So I'm sorry. The Canadian player is playing a Thagrosh 2 Theme Force, which I'm unfamiliar with.
I am as well.
Is the Australian player playing vanilla?
It's vanilla Thagrosh 2.
Okay.
Double Scythian, Seraph, double Nephilim Protector, double Rake, Shredder, and then some support pieces.
So that is going to be interesting, I think. They're very similar. I wonder what the theme. I'm very curious what the Theme Force provides here.
Yeah. No, it's a good question.
So Chris Orr from Canada, Goose from Canada, Goose.
Yep.
Is playing Thagrosh 2 Dragon's Host Tier 2 Theme Force with double Scythian, Seraph, double Rake, Shredder, Max Legionnaires, Feralor, and 2 Forsakens and a Hellion.
Their lists are actually somewhat similar. Differences, obviously, whatever the Theme Force benefits are, which we'll check into should we need to. And then the Nephilim Protectors versus some Legionnaires and the Hellion. I don't know how Lilith 2 is into the Legion matchup in general. Probably so-so. I don't know. Obviously, her Shadow Pack benefit is relatively moot, but she can still shoot heavies off the table.
Right,
so,
she can still kill enemy casters.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about Legion on Legion.
Yeah, this is anytime you're in a mirror match situation, you're going to experience some fairly nuanced play between the interactions. Just from the same faction on same faction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And neither of us are Legion players.
No.
I mean, we certainly have experience against Legion.
Yeah, but not in thinking about the mirror match at all.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes down, too, because I'm sure that these players have insights far beyond what we're capable of.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to hope for a Thagrosh 2 mirror match here.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty fun, actually. Yeah. I mean, as far as mirror matches go, sometimes you're kind of looking at a slog most of the time,
absolutely.
but I feel like a Thagrosh 2
mirror match would be fun. Yeah. All right.
So let's move on.
All right. So our next matchup is Aaron Thompson versus David Beauchamp. Right, David? Yeah, David Beauchamp. Aaron Thompson is a Retribution player. He's brought Assyria and Raven to the table. Raven's Tier Force, actually, Tier 3, Will of the Nine Voices. And then Assyria Dawnbringer's tier are full Tier 4. I actually am not sure what either of these tiers do either.
All right, we'll have to. We have our work cut out for us.
We are going to, yeah.
On Canada's side, from David, we have Calandra, and he is running EE with Calandra. So that's going to be just looks like a typical EE list with 4 Slags, 3 Storms, 2 Pyres, and a Winter. Standard stuff. We've seen it all day yesterday. We're going to probably continue to see it. And that, I'm assuming, is, just for... It's such a good list in general, but it solves a lot of the matchups that Trolls might have problems with.
Absolutely.
But rather than pairing it with the Runes of War that we've been seeing, he's paired it with Madrak 2. And I'm just looking down this list, and I love this list. This is great. So I'm actually really hoping we see this Madrak 2 list. And I think we will, because I don't think that... I think that Calandra, I think the list is good enough you can play it into a wide variety.
Sure.
But I think that the kinds of lists that he wants to play it into are not going to be represented from a Retribution player. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Madrak 2. But I think that this is one of those matchups where he could go either way, depending on if he sees something specific.
Sure.
From one that he wants to.
I think we can pretty safely say that the Retribution player is going to drop Assyria. At least in my opinion, I don't think Raven is the choice that you want to run into
Trolls. Yeah, no, I think you're probably right about that.
So my guess is that Aaron Thompson is going to bring
especially
Assyria.
Mage Hunter, the Mage Hunter heavy.
The Mage Hunter heavy version. So the Assyria list is a Hyperion, 2 Chimeras, 2 full units of Dawnguard and Victors, and then some Arcanists and Houseguard Thane, and I believe that's the list that he will drop.
Yeah, and that's a list that's going to kind of blow away. So I mean, maybe you do take runes against that.
I think.
Or EE.
Thinking about the the knowledge that he's almost certainly going to drop Assyria makes me think that David is going to drop Elemental Evolution.
Right.
But
on the off chance he doesn't, let's go over this Madrak 2 list because I love it. So we've got Impaler Pyre Battle Group, which is this sort of typical, very War Beast light battle group that we see from Trolls occasionally when they want to go super heavy on the infantry, especially with Madrak 2. It's very popular.
Indeed.
He's got a Rune Bearer, which is great for Madrak 2. All of his spells cost 2, being able to cast Blood Fury twice a turn, potentially, and stagger the activation is it's good. So, yeah, Rune Bearer, great with him. Double units of Warders, double unit of Fire Eaters, Burrowers, the Creelstone, Janissa, a Fellcaller, and Pendrake. So I just am absolutely in love with this. This is like 100% like my style.
Yeah, it's packed full of the things you like: Warders, Fire Eaters,
and all these things are great with Madrak 2, and
Indeed.
he turns them up to 11.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
being able to pop his feet for the extra attacks on everything with those reach models. Fire Eaters are incredible with Madrak 2 with his feet.
Absolutely.
And he does have a Pyro Troll to activate them early if he wants.
Yeah.
So yeah, just great stuff there. So honestly, I think we'd be fine with either choice from him. But
I think we'll see Assyria versus Elemental Evolution, but we might get to see Madrak too. All right, so our 4th matchup: Charles Soong versus Trent Dennison. Trent, of course, has brought Crix, Denegra 1, and Scar 1. Denegra 1 list, again, the shooting list that we've seen several times already this tournament. Very popular list.
Yeah, very good list.
I apologize, actually. It does have Selena and the Nist Hunters and the Devil Shadows Mutineers.
No Boom Howlers.
But there's no Boom Howlers in this list. There is Satixis instead.
Okay, all right. That's a little bit different, actually.
A little different. Wither Shadow Combine, Mechanothrall, Recursion Engine, couple War Witch Sirens, Iacos is in the list as well, just as a solo it appears. So, and then the Scar 1 list. I'm sorry, there is a Min Mechanothralls, but right now I'm looking for Necrosurgeon. Oh, there it is, Necrosurgeon Constitutionals. There they are.
There's no way.
Yeah. I was like,
There's
wait,
no
what?
way.
Yeah. The Scar 1.
Nothing says late game like a min unit
of Mechanothralls. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Yep.
The Scar 1 list, also a little different. Cankerworm in the Scar list.
Great.
Yeah.
Cankerworm's great.
Cankerworm is great. Kind of unusual. Some Blood Witches, Mechanothrall Engine, and Satixis Raiders, some Soul Hunters, and Bane Knights. So only 1 unit of Bane Knights, which we do have Tartarus.
I like that, actually.
Yeah.
not going all in on the Bane Knights with Scar. I think that
maybe
that
add a little nuance to her play.
Well, I just think that style of play that's come up in the last couple of years of just going overloading on the Bane Knights, it's just too predictable in my opinion.
Sure.
So
sure.
I like the being able to have the option of going with Satixis for like super speed, really that like alpha jam, but because you can hold them back and basically do the same thing with them as you can with Bane Knights.
With Blood Witches, Satixis Raiders, and Soul Hunters, it's a faster Scar list than we are typically used to.
Faster Scar list, and then I think Satixis also just open up more avenues of play. They offer the backlash assassination against certain casters like Lucant, for instance.
Very true.
They have 2 attacks, so even though they are not weapon masters, and they have much lower POW than Bane Knights, they can actually do more damage than Bane Knights on their mini feat turn with Power Swell, and especially on Scar's feat turn when they start getting up to POW 16. It's like a POW 14 and a POW 13 weapon master attack from them on their Power Swell, and Scar's feat turn. If they can combine the 2 into the same turn, then they can certainly do a lot more damage, and just opening up that more avenues of play with being able to jam you, being able to alpha strike you, being able to backlash certain casters. I think I much prefer it, or rather, I much prefer to face, I guess, the Bane Knight list because I don't think it's as good.
You don't think it's as good,
but.
All right, so they've got the pairing, so we're going to select kind of what we think for these last 2 really quickly. I believe we'll probably see Denegra into Zal from Charles.
Yep. So just to go really quickly over Charles' list. He's got a Xerxes 2 list with 2 Kriyas. I think that this is interesting. So he's got a Xerxes 2 list with 2 Kriyas and Archidon, and that's going to be for I'm assuming that the Archidon is going to be for his...
oh my goodness!
His affinity, or he has a bond, right?
He has he gets a free
bond that gets it. Like he gets to cast the animus of his.
I'm actually not even sure it's necessarily the bond. It may be the bonded War Beast.
Yeah. So that the Archidon is definitely to be
first spread. Yeah.
Or he could go with one of the Kriyas too, I guess, if he thinks that there's going to be a lot of shooting. But I think you do have to choose that at the beginning of the game. So
4 Drakes in this list. So it's possible that this is the list he wants to play.
It's possible. This could be his big heavy infantry, or his big anti-infantry.
It could be
list with all the Drake sprays coming out. They can actually do a significant amount of work clearing infantry and even doing damage to heavy targets on his feat turn. They do have POW 14 magical sprays, and with the ability for they have up to 3 Fury that they can each boost. With their sprays, and then with the ability for the Beast Handlers to activate afterwards, they can take all the Fury off and just get an incredible amount of focus efficiency, Fury efficiency.
We very well may see X2 here, because the Zal list is so immortal heavy, actually, that I think we may see X2.
Right, and just to go quickly over that, we have in the Zal list, the battle group is going to be an Eridus Sentinel, a Cyclops Raider, and Optimus Marketh. And then 3 max units of Immortals, Hakar the Destroyer, Ancestral Guardian, and 2 Ancestral Guardians and 2 Exolar Soul Wars. I believe this is the Immortal Host theme force. So
I'm going to actually revise and say we're going to see Xerxes 2 from Charles Soong with this very unusual quad Drake list, which Colin has to be. I'm excited to see.
I'm very excited for
little
this.
Ride or Die action.
Yeah, right now. Ride or Die.
Ride or Die. So I think we may see X2 into, I think Pita Negra. The other option, of course, is the Scar list.
I think either of those.
He could pick whichever one he's the most comfortable with. I'm just assuming that Trent is probably mostly more comfortable with a Pita Negra.
And should we head over to the tables, or do you want to go over Josh Bates and Chandler?
Just very quickly, we'll talk about what Josh Bates and Chandler have brought. Josh Bates is a Signar player for Team Wombat, and he has Haley 2, Haley 3, a pairing that we've seen several times already through the tournament. The Haley 2 list is a Squire Thorn list, no Stormwall, so the classic spell-slinging Haley. Tempest Blazers, Stormblade Infantry, Press Gangers, 2 units of Press Gangers for a little jam, so that's a little unusual. Anastasia Debray, Iris, Gorman, Piper, and Hawk. And then Haley 3 is a list with Squire Lancer, Tempest Blazers, Trencher, Minimum Trenchers, Storm Lances, Ion and Hold, Strange Ways, Alexia 2, Iris Gaston, and Victor Pendrake. So kind of the Storm looks like, or rather, rolling cloud wall to protect the cavalry behind it.
Yep. And as we saw yesterday, that list can have a very strong assassination potential.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we might be seeing something like that. For Chandler, on the Canada side, we have Bradigus with the World War theme force, and it looks like a pretty typical World War theme force. So we don't need to go over that a ton. And then on the other side, Kruger 2 with Getorix, Warpwolf Stalker, Gorax, Wilder, Max Druids with the Overseer, Max Blood Trackers with Nula, Shifting Stones with the UA, and single Gallows Grove, Pendrake, and a Thrulg.
Kruger 2 being strong against shooting-based armies aside, I still think we're going to see Bradigus. I don't think that Josh Bates has a lot to break Bradigus between his two lists.
I mean, it's actually this is a great pairing for Chandler for them to shove into a Signar player because on the one side he's got Bradigus, on the other side he's got Kruger 2, and both of those lists
most of them house Signar pretty
double
well.
guns
Yeah,
to
absolutely
any shooting-based army. He's going to be up a creek with just what list he's going to try. And
I don't see a lot that Josh can do between his two lists. I'm going to guess he's going to take Haley 3 for the stronger assassination and maybe play for that game.
That'd be very interesting to see. Let's head over to the tables and we'll start seeing
how wrong we were.
Let's see how wrong we were. And see how the players are deploying.
So we're going to head to table 5 first, and here we have Madrak 2 versus Raven. So this table is This is the Aaron Thompson versus David Beauchamp table.
I love it.
Yeah, you got your Madrak 2.
I love it. So, real quick, assuming that if they had gone through the same kind of mental math that we had, and assumed Syria versus kind of Calandra, the Raven pick is actually kind of genius. Because Calandra is super easy to kill, especially with Mage Hunter Strike Force.
That's actually a very good point.
And we have 30 Mage Hunter Strike Force.
Yeah.
So then the Madrak 2 choice is actually kind of like a double layer counter choice. In my opinion, I mean, we might be thinking way too deep into this, and none of this happened.
Yeah, it may very well just be these are the lists we want to play, but yeah.
But that's the narrative that I'm going to go with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a legitimate narrative. Yeah.
So So in that case, if he thought that Raven was going to come out, and that he thought that Calandra was going to come out, these choices are actually great. They're actually it's awesome. This is what the list chicken.
Absolutely
is really good for. So I absolutely love it. I'm going to really look forward to watching this game.
All right, so we were happily completely wrong on that individual choice there. We'll go to table 4. All right. Table 4, Veil 2 versus Thags 2. So we did not get our Thagrosh 2 mirror match. Ben Leeper did select Thagrosh 2, but Chris Orr selected Veil 2. Okay, and again, we don't know enough about Legion on Legion mirror matches here to, I think, have selected one way or another what was going to happen, but at least we get to see a little Thagrosh 2. And then Veil 2, of course, everyone kind of knows. So
for sure.
So this is Ben Leeper with Thags 2 versus Chris with Veil 2.
So we're going to head over to table 3 now to see Zal 1.
Oh, that makes me sad.
So we were wrong here again.
We were. So Charles Soong did take Zal 1, which was our initial reaction. He did not take the full ride or die list.
Versus Denegra on the other side.
Denegra, which we did. I did suspect Trent Dennis would drop. So we've got Trent with Zal. Or not Trent. Trent with Denegra. into Charles with Zal.
I'm so sad
I'm sad we're not going to see
not
X2.
seeing X2.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Charles, you boned us. All right, so. All right, so this one we did call. It's Joshua Bates versus David Chandler here on table 2, and we do see Haley 3 into Bradigus. So I do think Joshua Bates has kind of thrown his hands up in the air and said, let's see if we can assassinate Bradigus.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Especially since one of Haley's big assassination vectors is that, as we saw yesterday, is the baby Haley force blow or
force slam, force choke.
Yeah, force. Yeah,
yeah, the force choke.
Why am I drawing a blank on this?
Is it force blow?
No, it's not force blow. It's the slam spell, the force hammer.
Force hammer. Yeah, that's
sorry.
it. Yeah.
It's so early.
Damn it, Chad.
Oh my gosh! As we saw yesterday, one of Haley 3's big tricks is the baby Haley force hammer assassination.
Indeed.
Knocking something into your caster, knocking them down, and then shooting them, having them, the Storm Lances assault in from across the table and do as much damage as they can, having some Storm Blades or whatever other options.
Absolutely.
Does he have, I see, and he's got even, more possibilities there with the Murder Ponies up top.
He does, yeah.
Murder Ponies, the sort of pet name that we've made for the Tempest Blazers.
Tempest Blazers, yep.
So Tempest Blazers, going to be a very good unit for that kind of play style.
Absolutely.
But Bradigus himself being unknockdownable, and
Indeed.
then also with the...
He's not steady. He's unknockdownable.
He's unknockdownable.
Yes, indeed.
And then also with the just massive proliferation of shield guard models in his army.
Indeed. Yeah, this is going to be an extremely difficult.
Not to even mention that forests can block line of sight.
Yeah,
and there is an incredible forest right in the middle, dead center, middle of the table there for Chandler to play around with, and his stickmans are just going to love that forest.
I mean, Chandler has to know what Joshua's out to this game is, and so it's going to be very difficult to hunt down Bradigus, I think. Okay, table 1. Okay, so this is obviously James Morehouse versus Mark LeBlanc, and it is the Kruger 2 versus Haley 2 match that we predicted. Okay. So we suspect when we're bouncing around, we will check in on this game frequently, and when we check in on this game, it will look very similar to the rounds that we have seen before.
Yeah. They're going to unpack in about 10 minutes, and then it's going to be that for probably the next 50 minutes.
I think so,
and maybe something will happen after that.
Yeah. At some point, models will be pushed somewhere.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah,
that's a good bet, Josh. That's something that we can maybe look forward to.
Absolutely. Okay, so all right, we're going to head over to table 4. This is the Legion on Legion matchup. Ben Leaper with Thags 2 and Chris Orr with Veil 2. Game has started. Looks like all Legion looks alike, so I'm not sure which side is which.
Well, I see Thagrosh on the left. So
okay. Then that makes sense,
he's activating Thagrosh right now. So, yeah. Josh, jeez.
How embarrassing. On international coverage. My bias is showing.
Your bias is showing. You're dragon racist,
I am a dragon racist. Yeah.
Speciesist, I'm sorry.
Speciesist, yes. All right, so we've got Ben on the left, we've got Chris on the right. So Aussie on the left, Canadian on the right here. And we're just looking at them sort of unpacking. What do you think about this matchup overall, Chad? Just...
I think Thagrosh is favored in this matchup.
It seems like in a beast on beast matchup, that Thagrosh should. How strong is Purification here?
Not incredibly.
Right.
Thagrosh does have some upkeep spells.
I have trouble remembering exactly between Thagrosh 1 and Thagrosh 2. Thagrosh 1 is the one with Dragon's Blood, or is that Thagrosh 2?
That's Thagrosh 1.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thagrosh 2 does have, so pull him up
Okay,
right now.
let's bring him up, yeah.
Because he does have several upkeep spells, but they're not going to be paramount to his game plan, especially versus in a
Okay, they're not things that the Veil particularly cares about. War room loading, and it's typical lightning fast.
Well, it's
yeah.
It's already loaded. So.
Oh, whoa, oh my goodness. So Legion. All right, so Thagrosh. Did I pick up the wrong one? Thagrosh the Messiah. This is the epic Thagrosh 2? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So Thagrosh 2 does have Dragon's Blood.
Well, we stand corrected.
So that could very well be something that she's looking to purify off. He's also got Flesh Eater. When an enemy model is boxed by Flesh Eater, it's removed from play. It's just a POW 13, range 10. Manifest Destiny, of course, is his big deal. Usually you see Thags 2. Well, not usually, but you often see him with like the Shredder Legion, right? That's Thags 2?
I mean, you don't often see it, but that is a kind of way that people can play him. Yeah.
Okay. He has Scourge, of course, and Unnatural Aggression. Okay, so
Unnatural Aggression can be a good gotcha play for casual games at the store, but I doubt, especially going into an opponent Legion player, that he's going to get much traction out of Unnatural Aggression.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're mostly just going to see this being a sort of Manifest Destiny armor buff game out of Thagrosh, probably, which, of course, is what makes him tick.
Yep, and we also could see some variant of, a charge, feat, Scourge to knock Veil down, and then
go for the assassination.
War Beasts running to possibly, feat into her.
Absolutely. I'm going to look up the lists real quick. I'm assuming both of them are fuel cache on the objectives. It appears that Ben does, in fact, have fuel cache for Thagrosh 2. It may not be for Veil, I suppose. Chris has it's actually, the list runs on too long for it's bunker for Veil. Veil 2's objective is bunker.
Just to protect it from shooting.
Indeed. Yeah. Indeed.
And I'm guessing most of his army is designed to shoot anyway, and they're probably not going to want to charge in. We see the only things that I think might want to charge are the Angels, and they, as we see right here, go much farther than the fuel cache covers.
Yeah. So very interesting here. We see Veil very spread out with the option to go to both zones. And Ben has chosen to really kind of advance his army packed very tightly. Looks like he has the flexibility to go to that bottom zone, but is looking to project most of his force into that top zone. What do you think about him sort of abandoning this bottom zone here? Or not abandoning it, but...
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. I know from watching him play at Lock and Load that Ben is an incredibly skilled player.
So oh, absolutely.
I don't think that he would just straight up, make a mistake. But I'm sure you're not. I'm not.
Well, I mean, this is the first turn. I'm sure he's got a very specific plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Thagrosh does have a quite mobile army with the ability to reposition with his feet.
Well, just the two rakes in and of themselves are quick and can reposition very quickly.
Exactly. Also, we do see some gobbers down there that maybe can hold the line. If all he's going to send to the bottom is his infantry, then the gobbers actually can be pretty difficult to kill, difficult to kill, especially with a forest there.
Yeah.
The war beasts obviously ignore the forest, but the infantry don't.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
He's also got 2 Feral Geists as well, and Legion can have problems with magic attacks.
Oh, Oh, so he may. Oh, there is a Feralgeist there in the back.
Yep.
He may be
Yep.
just looking.
He
to
has
turn
2
that
in his army.
Okay. Okay.
So that's something to watch out for as well. The Feralgeist. I mean, he might even, since he's got another turn, you know, he might like have that Feralgeist. It might already be within running range to get into the zone. But you know, I would certainly think that it would move up so that it could run in if it needs to, and then just tie things up and sort of sit around and be incorporeal and be hard to kill. What were these? Are those Hex Hunters?
I believe that they are Hex Hunters, but I will double check for you right now.
So, I mean, if they are Hex Hunters...
They are Hex Hunters.
Yep, okay, they are Hex Hunters. So, I mean, that gives him a little bit of an answer to the Feralgeist.
But the combination of the forest and the Hex Hunters not being able to see through it, that forest in the zone gives him a place to place a Feralgeist kind of in the back.
Are Hex Hunters hunters?
Oh, apparently Hex Hunters are hunters with a unit attachment.
Yeah.
Which is not in his list.
Okay, well, hey, all right. Huh.
This is very interesting. This will be, Chad and I are sort of learning about Legion now. These guys can teach us a thing or two.
We need to get Hugo over here to bail us out.
I know, right? All right, we're gonna go ahead and cycle through the matchups here as people have started to unpack their armies. All right, so this is table 5. It's Aaron Thompson versus David Beauchamp. Raven versus Madrak 2. We can see Madrak has kind of unpacked a little bit, moved up towards both zones.
I love this matchup so much.
Yeah,
I do think that the Madrak player is advantaged. In this
absolutely. I think Aaron may have lost a little list chicken.
So the easiest thing for those Mage Hunters to kill are going to be the Fire Eaters and the Creel Stone.
Yes.
Certainly losing the Creel Stone is going to be a big concern. But he can have... if he positions his army correctly and he's maxing out the Creel Stone every turn, which I think he should be doing, by turn 2 he can have it full, and I would even go so far as to activate it first and then top it off to 11, which you can do. You can turn it up. You can turn the dial up to 11.
Indeed.
With the Creel Stone.
Indeed.
By activating it first and then filling it up to 7 Fury, which will give you an 11-inch aura. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
With an 11-inch aura and then maximum position of his units forward from the aura, then he can have a big zone of protection for it. So that if the Mage Hunters want to shoot at it, even with snipe, they're going to be like 5 inches away from the front line of warders.
Sure.
Which means that even if they kill it, you know, they're going to be in trouble next turn.
Right.
So...
All right, we're going to go check in at table 3. This is Trent Dennison with P. Denegra versus Charles with Zal. Oh, my.
we had a development on this table already.
Indeed, we do. One of the Sentinels, Errata Sentinels, I believe, has already killed off Iacos this game.
So it was likely a drift.
There's only one Sentinel in the list, but the Errata Sentinel went ahead and popped off 3-point Iacos early on. Definitely.
Iacos didn't have a battle group then?
He did not. He was a solo.
Well, that's still quite a good...
That's a good shot. That's a good shot to start the game.
For sure. For sure. Now, we don't know if he just went ahead and direct hit. He could, because Iacos has stealth. But Extoller Soul Words are able to give Eyeless Sight.
There are 2 Soul Words in this list, so yeah. It does sound like he just directly shot him right in the face. So
so a Soul Word went ahead and gave him Eyeless Sight.
A helpful start for Charles into what is probably not an excellent matchup for him.
Yeah, I have to assume that Trent feels quite comfortable.
Yeah, I would imagine. But we shall see how it plays out. Trent very clouded out here. Going to be a lot of infantry on infantry in this matchup.
A lot of Mat 6 infantry on Mat 6 infantry.
Indeed. Unfortunately, one side has normal defense and one side has low defense.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to check at table 2 really quick. Again, this is Joshua with Haley 3 and do Chandler's Bradigus list. So this is going to be kind of a version of Cloud Off, I guess, with the rolling moving cloud wall for Haley 3 and then the rolling forests from Bradigus.
You can't roll the forests forever.
That's true. That's true.
But, yeah, it's definitely going to be a line of sight battle for a little bit here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that this game is going to
develop quickly.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
It's all. I think this game is all dependent on how Chandler plays Bradigus and where he ends up placing him, and whether or not Joshua sees a angle for a potential assassination. That's the only way that this game develops quickly, is if Josh decides to pull the trigger.
Something interesting to note about the clouds is about the clouds versus the kind of Bradigus army is that with Bradagus's feet, he can potentially push
slide
forward and then get within walking range to just kind of walk through the clouds and punch up some stuff.
Very
and
true.
Then, something also to note is that almost every single attack on the Bradigus side of the table removes from play.
Yeah.
So Haley is going to be pretty unhappy about that when she goes to try and revive.
Yeah. This is a very hard matchup for Josh.
Yeah,
very
it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to go check in table 1. This is James Morehouse, Kruger 2 versus Mark LeBlanc, Haley 2. And it looks like sort of what we predict out of this game, which is not a lot of action. Kruger 2, very bricked up, obviously, wants to be under the effect of Stormwall. Wants to be able to project into either zone. Haley a little more spread out, advancing kind of cautiously here.
Yeah, and then something else to look for is does the Haley 2 list have any higher than range 14 guns?
I will double check. This is Mark LeBlanc's Haley 2 list. This list is gun mages, Stormblade infantry with full officer and storm gunners, Nis hunters, junior, Stormblade captain, Acosta is in this list.
Oh, hey.
So that's not a gun, but it is longer than 14 inches potentially. And then Anastasia, Ragman, and Piper.
Acosta actually does change things quite a bit.
He does.
Because I'm thinking if he doesn't have any higher than 14-inch range guns, he can kind of lead with Kruger, just kind of pushing all the gunfire back.
Yeah.
It's tough because Haley 2 does have such a, between her bond and temporal acceleration and telekinesis, she can definitely, hit a caster on that's sort of leading their army.
Yeah.
From far away with a melee threat, specifically a warjack that, Kruger's not going to want to get charged by a 4-focus Stormclad with an extra attack.
No, not at all.
But Acosta also, kind of...
temporal accelerated Acosta into...
is potentially just as bad.
Into a circle warbeast is bad news. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
So Haley 2, positioning-wise, is just in the middle of that trench on the right side of the table. It looks like you can just see her above that token. I think one of the things that we might be looking at here is the Australian player might be considering an assassination.
It's very possible.
I know that James definitely likes going for this kind of play. So
yeah, for what it's worth, the objective there that Haley is standing next to is an effigy of valor. So I believe does provide cover for her. Is that correct? And she's in the trench, of course. Of course, she's in the trench, so she does have cover.
Yep. So he might be looking at like Stoneport Kruger and then TK her out of the trench, and then maybe try and zap her twice and get her with something else.
I guess temporal acceleration must be faction only.
Yeah.
Chat pointed out, obviously can't do that to a cost.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I knew that.
Well, you didn't say anything to me when I said it.
Well, I didn't. You didn't say temporal accelerated.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Oh my God, you donkey! Get out of here. I just assumed, I guess, that you.
That I knew.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Everything is friendly faction to me, Chad. Everything.
I'm shaking my head right now. Yeah, Moops is definitely
Considering
about.
the
He's looking at him.
assassination
He's
here.
definitely.
So we might stick with this for a minute or two just to see if he
just
decides
to see
to
whether
go
he
for
goes
it.
for it. I actually, knowing him, I bet he goes for it.
All right.
I bet he goes for it. So, and yeah, if he doesn't go for it, this game is going to be quite a
grind.
Grind.
Yeah.
So I guess he's probably trying to decide what other follow-ups he has after Kruger comes in.
Is that can we get a confirmation one way or another? I don't think that that's a feat token. I think that's just a personal objective. But on the Haley, someone in the chat believes that it might be his feat token for Haley. I think it would be a very early feat, but
yeah, I do not think he would turn 1 feat.
Yeah. Yep, I just heard I just heard James say, "Let's do this." So I think this is going to happen.
Yep.
It is apparently a feat token. Apparently Haley has feated.
Oh wow, interesting. Actually.
Yeah.
And he's still going to go for it?
Well,
let's see.
Maybe he means let's do this as in let's play a long, boring, grinding game.
Yes. Will it be the moops or the oops? Well, that's a good. Hey, I can't take credit for that one. That's Swirly Perth from the chat.
Yeah, that's quite good.
That's a good one, though.
It's quite good. All right.
So this would be the kind of assassination that people are talking about. That would be pretty much unattainable with Haley 2's old feat.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. So let's see how powerful the nerf. How powerful is the nerf? Looks like he's moved Griffin and a Stalker, I think, towards the zone here. Looks like maybe just clearing out some space. I'm still not entirely convinced that he's going for an assassination. Like,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, I'm more convinced.
Directly control radius from one caster to another. Well, I mean, you would do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You would do that anyway. I mean, something else to consider is Kruger is almost definitely going to pop his feet this turn if he's going to go for it.
Sure.
And that can slow down the enemy army, so that can provide him with one turn of. I mean, he's going to be giving up his feet essentially for an
assassination run.
For an assassination run.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is a way of him kind of going for it and not really having to risk much.
Sure.
So I can see why if he does have a plan that he thinks has a marginal chance of success, that he might just go for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just curious to see whether his plan involves more than just walking forward and hoping that he can roll a 13.
Right.
Is it 13? So he's Rat 6 versus Def 20.
Here we go.
22. If she's temporal, they're decelerated.
If she has deceleration up, yeah. Which I assume she does.
I don't know.
Can we maybe check and see if Haley 2 is decelerated?
Because even like 6 versus a 20 is going to be a tall order.
Yeah.
Rolling a 14.
Yeah. So it appears he's ported up there. Or is that a black clad? Actually, not entirely sure what's happening right now. Okay, it does sound like Haley is decelerated. So Megalith was trying to cast something. I'm guessing maybe a TK?
Yeah, definitely a TK. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was a lightning storm.
Oh.
Lightning storm. Yeah, maybe that's what he was going for. He was just going to pour it in and just drop 3 lightning storms or 2 lightning storms on her. Just the auto boosted or the auto.
Yeah.
POW 10.
Yeah.
Kind of a pseudo Kruger 1 kind of a.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure.
I think you could have gotten 3 boosted POW 10s
on her.
Between Kruger and Megalith.
So dice off 6 if she's not camping. It's hard to tell for sure. She might have 1 or 2 on her.
Dice off 4 if she's not camping.
Or she's arm 14? I thought she was arm 16.
No, she's arm 14.
Okay. Oh, she's a 16-14.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Right now we have a Gobber dropping a cloud, which is what that AoE is. Yep.
Yeah.
So he might decide to abort now that the first lightning storm has kind of drifted off.
Yeah.
And if he does, we will probably switch away and come back a little bit later. But we still have to see a Kruger activation, and that's really going to be
that's going to be the determination on whether or not he's going for AR.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess actually, if he feats here, he can push her back out of the trench, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that actually helps tremendously.
Yeah, that brings him down to just needing a 12.
Yeah.
He would still need a. He would still need a 12.
12.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past Moops to go for a 12 here.
Put the game on a 12.
Put the game on the 12. Yeah.
I could see it.
So yeah, I think that's exactly what probably is going to end up happening. Is he's just going to feet push him out and boost a shot and see what happens. Other tables, we got confirmation. Other tables are kind of slowly unpacking still, early stages of the game, so we're not missing a lot here. Waiting to see if he manages to pull this off.
Yeah, he's really agonizing over wanting to go for this. I mean, wasting your feet for a potential, just a potential to kill
Yeah.
Especially when that feat's going to be so powerful later on in the game for scoring a scenario.
Absolutely. He may actually feel like he doesn't have a super... He may be disadvantaged without his feet for scenario purposes in this matchup.
Now, I'm wondering if the positioning on the Stalker on the bottom there is kind of actually dictating that he should go for something like this, because it's I don't know. That Stalker is, I think, a little precariously close.
I would agree with that statement, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's on the hill down here, because we can see it's Nis, and then are those gun mages? I think they are gun mages.
Those are gun mages.
Yeah.
All right, Kruger's activating. And he's casting telekinesis on a Warp Wolf.
Interesting.
So it seems to me like he's probably not going to go for it at this point. Yep, and he casts Storm Wall.
So he's bunkering down here.
All right, yep. My assumption is that once the first lightning storm missed drifting, then
he's decided
to abort.
Yeah, I think he still wanted to do it, which is why we saw so much.
And he did feed as well, so that's going to push back Haley, and it's going to push back the Stormclad and provide a little bit of a speed debuff.
Yeah, this is a very light Kruger feed here.
Yeah, I assume this is because of the Warp Wolf Stalker on the bottom being a little bit.
I think so too, because I think
close. Yeah. Which I think he had to move that in order to try and. Well, I don't know. Megalith was on the other side of the table.
He was. Yeah. It might have been just a bit of a mistake.
A little bit of a mistake.
Yeah.
So.
All
We're going to head over to the Legion matchup right now, or it looks like we have a quick development.
This has been Leaper with Eggs 2 versus Chris Orr with Veil 2. And it appears that a Scythian has taken out... Scythian up in the top zone has taken out one of Veil's Angels.
And we haven't seen a Thagrosh feat or anything yet, have we?
There's a feat token on the table, so I'm guessing...
Oh, there is.
I'm guessing we are in the feat now.
God, those free charges from that fuel cache are such a big deal.
Yeah.
For those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scythian going in on Typhon right now with Manifest Destiny. I think it's pretty likely to see Typhon go down here. I don't know whether Typhon has his Animus up, but that could make it a little bit harder.
It does appear that there is a token by Typhon, so that could be what that is, but...
we'll see whether or not some rolls happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
First damage roll doing 14 damage.
14 to the 3.
So I think we can pretty much say see you later, Typhon.
Yeah. Sploosh.
And apparently Thagrosh has lost... excuse me. Apparently Thagrosh has lost a Protector and a Rake so far.
Yeah. Not quite the same as losing an Angel and Typhon.
And Typhon? Yeah. I would say you're correct.
I would say this is a strong... yeah.
Yep, Typhon goes down. Oh, apparently some math left Typhon alive barely. All right. And then he forgot about his Feral Guy, still notice.
Yes.
He could have jumped into Typhon there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good play, but, you know.
Yeah. It's cute, at least.
I mean, I kind of like making people, forcing people to kill their own models.
Yeah, sure. Anything that expends additional, particularly in matchups with low model counts like this, anything that eats up some attacks is always good.
All right, the other Rake has just charged in on the Seraph. With Manifest Destiny, they can do a good amount of damage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Science Importance is a heck of a thing. This is looking a little rough for Veil.
Wow, so with one shot, he takes out the Seraph's Spirit. And another 7 damage from the second attack.
The Seraph may not survive.
Another boxcar's roll there.
Yeah, eight more damage.
8 more damage. Yeah, the Seraph is not long for this world.
Yeah.
Losing 3 heavies in one turn. I mean, this is why he chose Thagrosh too.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely his anti, Legion.
Legion list, yeah.
Just the overwhelming power that Thagrosh brings, with Manifest Destiny and his feat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I guess Vale needs to play a little bit more of a cat and mouse game, but that leaves her super vulnerable to, Thagrosh is just going to keep running at her.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And he did remember the Feral Geist for this time, so it looks like he might hop into that Seraph, or at least he's considering it. And they're measuring right now. So he did choose to hop into the what is it called? Spirit Bind.
I will double check
the Seraph there.
It is called Spirit Bind. Yes. Yep. Nailed it. You're back on your game, Chad.
Back on my game. Right, and just to clarify for anyone that might not be aware, since Feral Geists are relatively uncommon,
and they usually just stand in a zone for a little while.
That's true. They usually just kind of It's very uncommon to see this actually, but it's one of my favorite things. So the beast that is inhabited by the Feral Geist is now considered to be a friendly minion model. It is alive with 3 hit points left, 1 in each aspect. And it's not part of any battle group. It can't boost any attack or damage roll. It's just it's basically just a solo for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
That have the base attacks of and it also, I don't think it can charge for free either. So it's basically just going to fly around and be annoying.
Can contest zones.
But it's certainly better than a no attack Feral Geist. And then once the War Beast dies, the Feral Geist will pop out within 3 inches of it and still be incorporeal.
Yeah.
So Feral Geist is actually super good sometimes in the Hordes matchups like this. I do kind of wish that he had jumped into Typhon though. That's maybe you can't do characters. You should
I will double check. Yeah.
That would make sense.
It does not appear to limit characters, so he could have jumped into Typhon. When a living War Beast. Yeah. Does not specify.
I kind of wish he got Typhon then.
Yeah.
But Seraph maybe a little bit harder to kill. Are they def 14?
They are def 14.
Yeah. So maybe he was just going for the little bit higher defense War Beast there.
Yeah. Well, it actually sounded like...
Given that they have so few hit points.
Listening to the... it sounds like he forgot the Feral Geist. They resolved the final attack. Thagrosh was removed from the table, and Typhon was removed from the table. And then just listening to what they were saying over the sound, it sounded like he had the Canadian player Chris had asked for a take back to remember upkeeps. And Ben had denied him, so he denied him the take back on the Feral Geist into Typhon, I believe.
All right.
Yeah.
Aussie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Goes against the typical sort of what you would expect from a Canadian, I guess.
I know, right? Sorry, eh?
Sorry, eh? No, in all honesty, though, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Oh, it's absolutely reasonable. It didn't sound like there was any animosity. That's just the game that they have decided to play with each other. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's charged his Protector into that Seraph there. This is just a massive casualty turn for Vale. I'm not sure how she's going to have to get out of this one.
Yeah.
We still have to resolve the feat, too, for Thagrosh.
I believe he's actually resolving the feat now because that protector ran up from the back. So I'm not sure this is actually more than the feat. Yeah, so this is the feat that's being resolved right now.
I see.
Yeah. Because that Nephilim protector ran from back near that wall, I believe, to get up to where he could come into the zone here on the feet.
And I'm looking for Thagrosh on the table, actually.
I am, too.
I think it's that proxy base in front of that wall.
In front of the wall? I think you're right. I think that's correct.
Yeah, Thagrosh is one of the worst models in the game for overhang in terms of the base size and, the way that he sits on the base. So if he's going to be butt up against the wall, it's going to certainly...
Yeah.
Be easier to just drop a proxy base.
Absolutely.
Beautiful Australian flag proxy base, by the way.
Looks like he may have moved the protector slightly out of Thag's control with that measurement there. I couldn't quite tell what they had decided.
So Vale is down to 2 war beasts. That is just a massive loss of casualties, or a massive loss of
just an
list power
Angelius and a Ravagore left. Yeah, it's definitely a severe reduction in her force power, and Chris is going to have a very difficult time coming back here.
Yeah. He might have been able to go for some kind of Hail Mary assassination on Thagrosh. It looks like Thagrosh is camping 3, although that could be Fury on a Forsaken.
Oh, that's a good point
as well.
Yeah.
So we're unsure how much Fury.
Oh, Manifest Destiny is 3 or 4?
3.
3.
Yeah, and you can see there we were right about where Thagrosh is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But so we put him down, and he's specifying that he's not facing the direction he's actually facing right now.
Yeah, he's facing forward or forward into the army.
Yes.
Nothing will have his back.
Down and to the right
of
the camera.
Yeah.
The Feralgeist is currently possessing the Seraph. You see that he moved the Feralgeist next to the model that it's possessing.
To denote that it was possessing that model,
Which is, I'd say that's fine. You're supposed to remove the Feralgeist from the table, but just putting it next to it just
as a reminder for both players.
It's not actually on the table right now. It's actually possessing the Seraph.
Absolutely. So Thagrosh, as we can see, the Fury got moved over. Thagrosh is camping 3. She'll make this.
It's going to make it tough. If he can somehow find a way to get a couple of pot shots on Thagrosh, maybe so he transfers away before Vale goes, then he can try for the 00 blit kill, but it's going to be tough.
It's not a strong assassination.
3 is
Thagrosh.
like the perfect amount to camp right now, especially when you've only got 2 shooting beasts left, and maybe it's only got 1 attack.
Right, exactly. All right, we're going to check in on table 3. This is Trent with Pita Negra and Charles with Zal. Zal has popped his feet.
Okay, so some stuff's going to happen. You can see down on the
bottom.
That's
the commentary we get paid for.
Hey!
Yeah.
You can see down on the bottom, or on the right side of the screen, that's the dead pile, I'm assuming. And those are going to be his potential boosts.
Yeah, absolutely.
That he can get from this feat. And one of the great things about this feat is just that, like, almost every attack that you can bring to bear on this feat turn is just going to do some kind of removal.
Absolutely. So. There's actually, if you'll note, not only is there models on the bottom of the screen, there's also models on the top of the screen that could be dead pile. So he may, and a little bit in the middle. So he may actually have many boosts.
So this is up to, it looks like a dozen or more.
Yeah.
He was currently resolving an Eridus Sentinel shot. So he killed a couple of Mechanothralls there.
They'll be back. Oh, my goodness. So it wasn't just Mechanothralls. It was a Necrosurgeon and one of the Wither Shadow Combines. So this Sentinel is getting his money's worth.
Wow.
Iacos, Wither Shadow, Necrosurgeon.
The Necrosurgeon is a tremendously huge deal.
So I revise my statement. They will not be back.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to note too. That was most likely a drift onto the Necrosurgeon because a direct shot could just
be Sack Pond. Yep.
Showing the power of AoEs.
Yep. And the power of the Eratus.
Yeah. So it looks like I'm just kind of counting up real quick. 3, 6, 9, 11. Hakar. Looks like he could potentially get up to 11 of his remaining Immortals onto the opponent's army. And that is almost, with Xal's feat, that's almost certainly going to be 11 models removed from the Krik's army.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, that kind of swing. When you can guarantee that all of your attacks are going to hit, I mean, it's not a guarantee.
It's not guaranteed.
It's not a 100% guarantee, but
it's as close as you get without being literally guguaranteed.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. It's the best that you can do.
Yeah.
So I think that it's certainly likely to see
11,
one for each.
Yeah.
That can be a pretty big swing.
That's
there.
a large swing. That's a full unit effectively off a table. So.
Plus an Ancestor Guardian that I missed down on the bottom that I don't think is activated yet. Looks like it's got 2 souls just below the Eratus.
Oh, yeah, I see who you maybe even 3. The mat makes it a little difficult with the tokens to tell if that's a token or just the coloration on the mat there.
Yeah, that's a good question from the chat. Can we get confirmation on which Wither Shadow Combine member died? Certainly Admonia, I think, is probably the one that he's looking for.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. That he would like to get.
You take whichever one, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to be as much of a problem for Krix, but Xal does have an armor buff, so that, and Sentinels have, or Immortals rather, have fairly high armor to begin with at 17.
That's correct.
So with a 12-19 stat line, with Inviolable Resolve, they can be a little bit of a pain to deal with sometimes. Like I said, it's probably not going to be that much of an issue for Krix.
Krix, yeah. Particularly not Pita Negra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it can at least put him into the range of, Mechanothrall can't engage 2 and just pop 2 off with, single fist attacks.
Yeah.
He's likely going to have to combo strike. Mechanothralls are likely going to have to combo strike to break the armor. So
true. Very true.
Barring charges, I suppose.
Right.
And then also Denegra is a thing.
Yeah, yeah. Crumbling Grass, Parasite.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so here comes that Ancestral Guardian we talked about.
Apparently, the stealth, the stealth granter died from the Wither Shadow Combine. Just as the update we just got. I think that his name is Maleficus or something like that.
I think it's something along those lines. Yeah, Malevolus or
there's Malevolus.
It's
Admonia.
Malevis.
Yep.
Malevis. Yeah. So it's Malevis that died. So they're not stealth anymore, I suppose.
That's probably the worst of the three options.
Yeah.
But you get whatever you can take. Certainly,
Yeah.
killing one of the Wither Shadow is better than not killing one of the Wither Shadow. But I think that if
he doesn't have to worry about Dark Industries anymore.
That's true. Thanks for that, Josh. Certainly, trying to get the puppet strings off the table, or
right, absolutely,
or the upkeep removal, from Admonia.
Absolutely.
But you take what you can get. It's still one less Darkfire, so there's Shadow, whatever nuke they have.
Darkfire. It's Darkfire.
Got it the first time.
Yeah. In one. All right, so some charges here from, I think this may be his last unit to activate.
I wasn't keeping count here either of, I was looking down and up too often. Wasn't keeping count of all of the kills being done. Whether or not he got the 1-to-1 ratio that we were hoping for.
I haven't seen a miss so far. So,
okay.
And I also was looking away a couple times, but yeah, I don't think that he's missed thus far.
Oh, he's still resolving the attacks, I guess, of this unit.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and here we go. See, this is what I'm talking about with when you can just kind of guarantee that all of your attacks are going to...
It's very strong.
Hit, yeah.
Yeah, it's very strong. Oh, it looks like we had a tough. I'm not sure what would be tough, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
All right, so he's still got a couple Ancestral Guardians there in the back. Well, Hakar and an Ancestral Guardian in the back. I'm not sure that they can get to much at this point, though. So it appears he...
It looks like Hakar is not towed into the zone, although he might have intended it to be.
It's not particularly relevant for the purposes of this turn, just because he can only dominate that zone, the friendly zone.
Sure, sure.
The question is whether or not he cleared the bottom zone and will score a point off of that Ancestral Guardian that's towed into it. Okay, table 2. This is, again, the Joshua Haley 3 matchup versus Chandler and Bradigus. Bradigus is coming in hard.
Yeah, it looks like he's teleporting into Haley 3. Or at least planning to.
Yeah.
Yep, so we see Bradigus resolving a stone port right now, and then we're going to likely see a feat from him.
I would say
shifting
so, yeah.
him.
Yep.
I'm trying to determine where Haley 3 is. I think she might be directly to the left of Bradigus there. Below the objective.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it looks like he's measuring right now to who I believe Haley is.
And it looks like he's going to be just out of 7 inches after he feats 5 inches towards her, but Bradigus does have beat back. So as long as there's anything nearby that he can beat back off of, he can probably get to her with still an attack or two.
Absolutely.
So I think that this actually we might be seeing a dead Haley here.
Yeah, I agree.
Now the question is how how high can he get his synergy stack before he activates
Radagast.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are probably going to see him charging forward with some of those wolds to just boost an attack roll and get that synergy.
Just to get the synergy up.
Yep. They're not even going to be looking to kill things. They're just going to be looking to
just looking to hit. Yeah.
Great.
It is where we thought
we just got confirmation that is 100% Haley. So we're looking at a potential early win here for Canada, which would bring them.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
All right, so some ram hands on Alexia action here.
So let's just do some speculation here. It looks like he can get probably 2 of those Wold Watchers into Alexia as well. So that's going to be 1 synergy from the Wold Guardian, 2 more, bringing it up to 3. Looks like he's got a couple of charge targets for the top. I mean, he might be able to get all of his synergy going with all of his remaining War Beasts.
I think he can get a synergy up to about 6.
So we're looking at a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I think that ram hand's stuck in the back behind the stones. He's going to be stuck.
Unless he gets teleported as well.
True. Absolutely. But yeah, we're looking at a potential synergy of 6 or 7, which means he'll hit on 3s.
Yeah, he'll be 4s. He'll be Mat 12.
He's Mat on a 6, sure, on synergy 6, yeah. So hitting on 4s, and power will be up to 19.
Yep.
So
it looks like he just one-shot Alexia there, so that might not be.
Yeah, I think there's still other models that he can.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I guess you take what you can get.
Yeah, absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And the first synergy stack, I guess, should be mentioned too, is the most pivotal one. So now they're all going to be Mat 7.
Right. Yep.
Making it even more likely for future synergy to happen.
Absolutely. He might not actually if she's got the defense buff spell. Actually,
Temporal Flux.
We'll need 6s if she has Temporal Flux up.
Still pretty good considering that any hit is going to probably obliterate her.
Absolutely, absolutely accurate. Looks like he's just trying to make sure that he gets that Wold to charge to a place where he stays within his control, so that he benefits from synergy.
Yeah, he just said he's going to port that Wold Guardian. I don't know if you heard that.
Okay.
So I think we're going to be looking at a +7 here.
Yeah.
Mat 13.
A little of the old Mat 13. Mat 13 Warcasters.
Mat 13 Warcaster.
Mat 13 POW 20.
POW 20.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Oh, and he has a fuel cache objective too. So so those 3 Wold Watchers will get to charge for free.
That's nice.
Meaning that they have 2 chances to boost to hit.
Yep.
I can hear Trent freaking out about something.
Yeah, it sounded like Dougal. Dougal must have missed. I'm going to guess that Trent may have feeded with Denegra just from what we're hearing over the mics, and Dougal may have missed. That's my speculation.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear Trent start shouting that someone's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he's not talking to his opponent.
No, he's talking to Dougal. I definitely heard Dougal mentioned several times. All right, so here we go. All right, so we have Synergy up to 2. Making forests and clouds.
Forests.
Right in that cloud.
Yep. I mean, this is this is where the game gets a little.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to place those forests down. You've got to fill out that paperwork.
You do.
You know.
You do. Cross those I's and dot those T's.
Yep. It's important.
Yeah.
The stream can't hear it, I guess, but we just heard that Chandler feels he feels that the exercise is relatively academic at this point. Although he does not doubt his ability to F things up.
Fair enough.
And so he's trying to take things as carefully as possible.
Yes.
So.
Well, he is on international internet television right now. So.
That's right. Upwards of a dozen or so.
Yes.
No, I think we're up to like 300 or 400. I don't know. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good numbers.
Yeah, we've gotten great numbers.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, absolutely.
Damn it, Chad. Don't drive them away.
Yep. Synergy 3 right now.
Yep. Synergy 3 now. Creeping that mat up to 9. Mat 9, POW 16. We're approaching Butcher level.
No Weapon Master, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Here he goes porting the Wold Guardian in. And he's only got to be within range of something.
Right.
You know, any one
Anything,
thing.
yeah.
Wold Guardian's going to be Mat 9, POW 20.
That's respectable.
That's pretty respectable for a Wold.
Yeah. Chandler just littering the table with maple leaves.
That's so rude.
Yeah.
Just sprinkling them.
Indeed. Marking his territory
Yeah.
for Canada. Synergy to 4.
I wonder if he was able to get that Wold Guardian into melee with another. It looks like it might be out of the 0.5, although those rings are kind of pushing everything all over the place.
Messing things up.
So.
Yeah. The ram hands, yeah.
Yep. Wold Guardian, Josh.
Sorry for using slang, everyone.
And that, by the way, that is Synergy plus 4 as well.
It is Synergy
so
plus 4, yep.
Almost there.
Yep.
This is agonizing.
This is...
If you're an Australian fan right now, I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
while you're just waiting for this inevitability.
Poor Poor Josh, who who coming into this match knew that he had been thrown to the wolves, as someone pointed out in the chat.
Thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible!
Yeah. And now he's now he's just slowly watching Chandler slowly unveil his his assassination plan.
We'll see whether or not he can charge this Wold Watcher in and still be in control radius. It looks like he will.
That's why he was checking that earlier to see
Yeah.
where he could place him. So.
Yep. And they're just being very meticulous right now, which is good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Making sure everything. Oh, he's
Yeah,
well
looks
within
well
control
within-
radius.
well within, yeah.
Control radius. And Chandler notes that he did not check whether that was within charge distance there,
Indeed.
so it was
Indeed.
very gracious of Josh to not call the
To
judge
allow
over
it, yeah, exactly.
and just immediately disqualify him.
Indeed,
So
indeed,
that's good. That's some of that Australian, hospitality.
indeed.
I mean, when World Watchers get to the point where they're basically one-shotting Storm Lances,
Yeah, it's going to be bad news
That's-
for the Warcaster.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we are at
Synergy
plus
5.
5 synergy.
All right, here we go. Synergy 6 is imminent.
Synergy 6. Synergy 6.
That was Acosta, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry. He doesn't have Acosta in this list.
No, yeah.
It was
It was, I'm not sure.
it was a Def 15 model. I think
It was. Maybe Holt or Ayana. I think Holt, perhaps.
All right, so yeah, he didn't get that World Guardian into melee with,
He did
with
not,
anything
yeah,
else.
yeah.
So he's going to go ahead with Bradigus now. So Synergy 6, and we see that Bradigus is not within melee range
Indeed.
of Haley, but like we
Indeed.
said, he does have beatback. So he's just going to go ahead and try and punch one of those trench. He's going to punch that trencher.
He's going to try.
Right, he's going to try. He's only mat 12.
Yeah, he might roll
So-
snakes. He did not roll snakes. He has successfully punched that trencher.
Right. Leaving him with 6 Fury worth of Smackdown coming.
And
Right at
does he
Haley.
have 2 initials, or
No.
he does not? Okay, so he's got to buy attacks here.
All right. 12 versus 19. He's looking for 7s here, and he's at dice plus 5 if he hits. So I
Okay.
think you just boost to hit twice.
I think so too. I definitely hit it.
Hits, dice plus 5 damage. This is going to hurt.
A very low damage roll.
And there you go.
And that's a game.
Yep. So first
so
damage roll did 10. Second damage roll could not
fail to kill.
fail to kill.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 1 point for Canada.
Canada draws first blood.
Yep, that's right. First blood.
First blood. All right. We're going to check in on Trent Dennison and Charles. P. Denny versus Zal. So we did get confirmation. P. Denny feeded about 10 minutes ago when we heard Trent cursing at Dougal.
That's right. So we can look at the aftermath here, and it looks
Yeah.
like almost all of them.
Almost
All of the Immortals have died. So the
died,
work
yeah.
that they did, I mean, they did a good amount of work.
They did
I
an
would say,
impressive amount of
but-
work, but just not quite enough, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And we always thought this was probably going to be a rough
Oh.
matchup for Charles.
I really wish he had gone with X2.
I would have liked to have seen X2 and the
I'm curious what the thought process maybe
for Zal here
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some speculation that maybe Scar was with the feet being able to use the feet defensively as she comes into where the sprays will be able to hit, and then come into the Drakes afterwards. Like that may have been a concern of Charles. I'm not sure.
I could see that. That's
Yeah.
definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
The 2-inch righteous vengeance. That is just not.
Yeah.
That's so sad. So many ways.
I can't. I mean, I did just laugh, but it was out of sorrow. I've had my dwarves feeded on by.
Oh man.
Poor Gorton. He just doesn't move very far.
I'm trying to spot Denegra. I'm having a tough time of it. I see the feet token there. And
yeah. I think it's that model that's right in front of the focus of the feet.
Yep,
just off to up, just to the top of the screen from the.
He's
objective.
likely positioned nearly exactly 14 inches away from that Eridus.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Which actually means that it's within aiming range.
True.
And she is living.
Also true.
But I think that it looks like he's engaged it with some Satixis possibly, or I don't know if he has Satixis in his list.
He does.
But it looks like there's some models down there engaging the Eridus, so he's going to have to, if he is going to try and go for some kind of Hail Mary, he's going to have to clear it off.
Well, he has Zal.
And it's also noted, too, that even aiming under Denegra's feet is only going to bring you back up to your regular rat. So
very true. Very true.
And I believe that's why he's camping a healthy amount, too. It looks like he's camping at least 4, maybe 5 or more.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell with that stack.
You could definitely get one shot by an Eridus if you go a little skimpy on your camp.
Absolutely. And I think he may be thinking exactly about that
possibility.
This possibility, yeah. That's really the only play that Charles.
I mean, you could maybe even one-shot her if she's camping a good amount.
Yeah.
4 dice.
Is Zal the one that has the ghost gun?
Yes.
So maybe you've got a couple of
shots would definitely increase the. But I mean, then he's going to have to look for something to be able to clear off those.
The Eratus there. Yeah.
There's an Ancestral Guardian that's sort of nearby. He
might be hanging on that zone.
Might be close enough.
Okay.
We have a development on table 1.
Table 1, Kruger 2 versus Haley 2, James Morehouse versus Mark LeBlanc. It appears that Haley has been TK'd, and I'm attempting to locate her right now. There she is, down there.
Just below the trench.
Objective. Yep.
So if that stalker hasn't gone yet,
good night, sweet princess.
Gonna be bad news. Good night, yes. Good night, sweet princess. Let's see if he walks the Gorex up to primal that stalker, then we know it's.
I believe.
Primal there we go.
Okay. I think this is gonna be it for Mark LeBlanc. Haley's dying everywhere.
That's basically what I would expect from a caster not in the top 30, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I'm just, all joking aside, it is actually very interesting to see how the errata is playing out in these games.
Absolutely.
We saw,
I would
James had a possible assassination on her feet turn earlier. It did not go, so the feats are still effective, I would say, at preventing. But, it wasn't the sure thing that it...
This is also a very unusual game to see Haley feed on turn 1. Very unusual.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I wonder if there was any other action going on here, like maybe a gallows or something like that. It seems like it would be very unusual for him to just be within
Haley
a TK.
To be that close.
Yeah, just to be within a TK range, a TK away.
I'm wondering what the base there, the Canadian flag base next to the storm wall is. I don't know if that's a wreck or if it's another model of some sort.
Did he have? I don't think he had another heavy.
I don't think he did either.
Base.
No, I don't think he did either. So that's why I'm very confused.
Yeah, double check to see if he had another large base. Maybe like a Centurion or something like that.
Nope, Stormclad was the only heavy in his list.
Interesting.
So whatever it is.
So that was a teleport.
Yep.
With the Stalker into Haley's back arc with Primal and back arc.
Yep.
You know, he's looking for 6s to hit here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dice plus a lot.
Yeah.
All right, and that's it. That's game.
That's game. So game to James Morehouse.
Yep, tying the series
tied
up.
up the series between
1-1.
1-1. Back to back.
Haley assassinations.
Haley assassinations. Yep. All right, we're going to check in with Ben Leeper and Chris Orr on table 4. Thags 2 versus Vale 2. When we left this game, it looked like Thagrosh had things pretty well in hand with a pretty devastating feat turn. And again, my speciesism is showing because it's hard to tell dragons apart from each other, but
it doesn't help that they have
similar paint schemes.
Somewhat similar paint schemes.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. It looks like the angel is dead. That Vale's angel that was still alive. I'm trying to figure out if that's her Ravagore that's up in that top zone, the bottom of the top zone across from Thagrosh.
No, I believe that's Thagrosh's Scythian.
So is it not Thagrosh's Scythian down here in the bottom zone?
Well, he has 2.
Oh, fantastic.
So
this appears to be. It appears as if the route is on.
I believe so, and I think that it looks like that Seraph is still chilling with its buddy Feral Geist.
You're absolutely right.
So
I see the Feral Geist on the other side of it. Yeah.
I think that we are down to perhaps 0 War Beasts
for Vale. Yeah.
This looks like a route.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what you do after you lose 4 heavies.
Lose 4 heavies in a single turn. Yeah, absolutely. All right.
It looks like we have a potential assassination.
Sounds like Zal may be working on, or Charles may be working on an assassination with Zal. We saw him sort of measuring ranges. It looks like that Aratus did get cleared off there.
Yep, by the Ancestral Guardian down there. So the Ancestral Guardian, I thought that it might have been out of range with only the speed 2 with Denegra's feet, but they can spend a soul to get another 2 inches of movement.
All right. All right, so it looks like a shot was made, but it only range 12.
They should be range 14 with snipe.
Okay, maybe it wasn't sniped because he's only measuring 12.
Maybe they're 12's base.
They're range 10 base.
Right, I was correct. Okay.
I may just not have clearly seen the tape. He may have just been measuring 10.
Right, and then again, Denegra does have stealth versus the Eridus, but he's got 2 Extollers. So if he wants to go for the shooting assassination with the Eridus and Zal, that's exactly what he needs.
Exactly.
Also, if Zal is capable of sniping both the Raider and the Eridus, the Raider, when it's aiming, it also can ignore stealth.
Ignore stealth, yeah, that's right.
So he might be able to go ahead and get 3 shots on her, 3 attempts.
It'd be.
I think that
Charles just declared he thinks this is probably a 2 to 3%er.
All right, well, yeah, let's see.
2 to 3% is better than no percent, Charles.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we were just resolving the Eridus missing.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So Zal activated. He healed the Eridus. Apparently, it was damaged quite a bit, so one of its aspects was gone. And now he's rolling to see if he can hit. And
so the Aratus does hit. Apparently, the Aratus.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, apparently
that might have been an ancillary attack.
It might have been an ancillary attack, exactly.
Oh, I don't think that this has any wheel breakers actually. This Steam Force.
We just received an update that USA Stars has lost to Finland Blue. USA Stars has lost to Finland Blue.
All right. Wow, so USA is out of the contention.
USA is out of contention for champion this year.
Oh, it looks like it looks like after the failed assassination attempt here, that Charles just decided to concede to Trent. So we can now call this series 2-1 in favor of Australia.
Wombats over
So
over
we saw
Geese.
a few. Yep, we just confirmed Trent won. So it looks like there were just a few low damage rolls there and some missed attacks that he was looking for. I mean, it's
Indeed. It appears based on the Ben Leeper versus Chris Orr match that Australia probably is going to take this match overall. All right, we're at table 5 here. This is Aaron Thompson with Raven versus David Beauchamp with Madrak 2. Basically, Chad really wanted to see Madrak 2, so that's why we haven't checked.
We haven't basically looked at this game at all. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks. Yeah, the one game that I can actually really comment on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have no idea what's happening here now. It looks like a decent number of warders have been killed. I see 2 on the top.
3 on the bottom.
3 on the bottom. So maybe it looks like 2 out of each unit. I think I see 3 on the top actually.
Yeah.
So 4 out of the 10 warders have been killed, and I'm like, a decent number.
Yeah, classic Chad.
Look, anything more than 1.
Yeah, even 1 is too much for you.
It's too many.
Yeah.
It's too many. I'm sad to see, too, that I don't think there's any Fire Eaters left on the table that I could see.
Well, as you said, the Fire Eaters and the Krailstone were the things that
the really vulnerable things.
Going to be able to pick off, yeah.
But they're also the ones that have the potential to do the most. The Fire Eaters, anyway, they have the potential to do
overall
like
work.
An incredible number of sprays
sure.
from assaulting and the feet. And
absolutely.
Being lit on fire for all those additional attack and damage dice. Do we have any? Can we get some confirmation on whether Madrak has popped his feet or not? That would be pretty big. And I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to determine where Raven. Oh, I think I see Raven. She's below the trench, between the trench and the hill, on the left side. I see a little small focus.
Oh yeah, that absolutely is
profile
Raven.
that looks quite like her.
That absolutely is Raven. She's so Raven.
So Madrak has not popped his feet yet. It looks like I'm trying to figure out if there's any kind of shenanigans that can be happened here.
Do we know if Raven popped her feet yet? That's also somewhat relevant.
If that Pirate Troll Raven feet has been popped.
Okay. Oh, neither feet.
I'm sorry, neither feet has been popped.
So both players with feet in the chamber.
It looks to me like this is gearing up for a feet turn.
Yeah.
He's charging with these bottom units of orders to clear off that cavalry model. So they're trying to determine what the armor. All right. Oh, looks like we might have a...
conclusion over at table 4. We're going to check in really quick with the Thags versus Vale game. All right, so resolving some maybe Hex Hunter attacks on
yeah, well, on the they believe they're hex bolting the objective. Actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the objective has 4 left now.
Yep. Can we find out if there's a control point in this?
The boxcars will kill it. I believe that he just specified that the left player has 3 points and the right player has 2 points.
So it would now be 3-3 with the destruction of the objective.
So if he could somehow kill both of those models in the bottom zone and dominate.
Which one of them is only the Feralgeist dominated model.
Well, he would also have to kill the Feralgeist then after it pops out. So that's going to make things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, that's fair. And it looks like Vale is probably already gone. She's apparently just sitting on 2 Fury, so I'm guessing she is gone.
Well, there's a big stack down here, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be... I don't know. Surprisingly close, though, after the earlier...
Yeah.
Which, you know, you had mentioned early in the game that him completely avoiding that bottom objective might have been bad. Maybe if Vale had been a little bit more aggressive towards that zone earlier on, that things might have been a little bit different right now.
A little bit different, yeah. Apparently, Raven lit on fire over here on table 5.
I was going to mention this just before we switched, that if that Pyro Troll hadn't activated, it was definitely close enough to be able to light her on fire and get a shot on her.
Yeah.
Apparently, he made a shot at her, and it scattered directly onto her.
All right.
So that's a little bit of good luck for that.
Yeah.
Definitely having your caster on fire in this matchup is going to be, that's going to be very
it's going to be rough.
Advantageous.
It's going to have a bad time.
So, well, you know, if she is unable to put the fire out, you know, that's going to definitely...
Oh, yeah.
Medrak can probably position a little bit more aggressively now. Not that he was... I don't think he's in tremendous danger from many of the things in that list anyway.
Right.
Being armor 19 with the Creel Stone and most of the opposing list being POW 10 shooting. Even if the Creel Stone goes, it's going to be, you know, not that bad.
Right. I actually am somewhat surprised. I know we talked at the beginning of this game that attempting to get rid of the Creel Stone like early on
would make a big difference.
Would have left many of the Mage Hunters vulnerable, but I'm surprised she held her feet because obviously assassinating Madrak with it is not. That's kind of pie in the sky.
It's
but using her feet to remove the Creel Stone early on might have been a big play.
Right. Well, she doesn't really need the feet to do the Creel Stone, right? Because that just gives the boosted attacks.
Oh, I thought. Oh, you're right. For some reason, I was thinking the feet included the snipe.
No, that's just
the
spell
that
she
has.
Spell.
Yeah. So. You're right. You're right.
So you could just throw like a unit at a time at the Creel Stone until it dies, and then hang the rest of your guys back.
Right.
That is going to make such a big difference in this matchup.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah.
But like we said, with the positioning of the Creel Stone, good positioning of the Creel Stone, you can make it so that it is so far back that they have to give up too much. A lot of people might be timid to really give up, you know, an entire unit just to go for your support.
To kill it. Yeah.
I do think it is the correct call, though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Chris here on table 4 is apparently, I don't know if he's trying to kill the Scythian. Okay, looks like...
So he just unferalgeisted the...
Seraph.
Apparently, he was looking to roll boxcars twice
to take out that Scythian.
To kill the Scythian and the Seraph.
Yeah.
And then he has nothing that is going to be able to go over to contest Thagrosh's zone. So
Right.
if they both scored, they would have both gone to 5. And then Thagrosh would have gotten another turn.
Yeah.
So I believe this is going to be game for Australia.
Game for Australia.
Game 3 cinching the
game
matchup.
and match for
Yes.
Australia. Yeah.
If he could just have kept that angel alive for a couple more turns, then maybe the repulsion would have been a really big deal here.
Absolutely it would have. Yeah, I think that Thagrosh's feed turn was just simply too. And we didn't see the whole game, obviously, but that feed turn was simply too brutal to come back from.
So right now he's just trying desperately to kill the Scythian and that Feral Geist as well in the zone, and he will just lose at the end of the turn, like because I said, Thagrosh is going to
go to 5 control points.
5 control points. Yep. Apparently there's a Shepherd over there that we're missing. That is Charles's. So
well, the Feral Geist did die, but yeah.
The Scythian didn't die, and now all Thagrosh needs to do is kill a Shepherd.
Concession from Chris.
Yep.
Victory to Ben Leaper. And
I don't know. I think I would have made him roll it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? All right. So back to the last match. Again, this is Raven with Aaron Thompson with Raven, and David Beauchamp with Madrak 2.
And he's charging Madrak in. So it looks like he's going to be hiding behind a wreck marker, which is going to be nice.
Indeed.
Maybe not so much against Mage Hunters, but against Raven, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Although she might be within charge range there. She does have reach, speed 6.
Yeah. Well, she also has Eliminator, right? So even if she's not in charge range, she could potentially still get into combat with him. She doesn't have Grievous, though.
She has Swift Hunter and Virtuoso.
Okay. I thought she had Eliminator.
Maybe she does. And he's already activated his Creel Stone this turn. They had a different...
So you guys might have heard the wild Wombat in... she does, in fact, have Eliminator.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. I totally forgot my train of thought there. So the Creel Stone had already activated, which means that he doesn't really have anything to run in and protect Madrak with Grim Salvation.
Right.
So he's actually just going to go straight for a ranged assassination.
He's just trying to range assassinate here.
Which Madrak is quite good at.
He is absolutely good at, but did he need to make this play here? Maybe he's doing it just because he knows that Team Canada has lost, so he's just bringing the game to a close.
Yeah. Oh, he got the crit Grievous on her. So she can't heal and she can't make a tough check.
Is that really a thing? He actually has crit Grievous?
Are you kidding me?
You trolls and your weird crits.
Shut up. 13 is a good damage roll. So it leaves her with 5. He's going to go ahead and pop his feet now and get a second shot.
Yeah.
So if he can roll another 9 to hit her, that's going to be basically a certain... Yeah. And then also the fire check. So
all right.
I think we might have a win here for the troll.
For the Canadians.
So he's resolving the Pyre Troll's feet attack right now, just to see if he can get some extra damage with his scatter.
Looks like it does not land on Raven.
Kills a Mage Hunter. Sure, it's good.
This is This is some J-level trolling of us right here. Apparently, troll players just don't want to resolve the assassinations.
It's in the name of the faction, Josh. We're all trolls. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like day one stuff here.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep, and he's resolving all of the other attacks from the warders as well.
Fantastic.
Look, it could be important.
Could be.
If Raven lives.
Just really scanning the tabletop for any other attacks that he can take that are not on Raven.
Yep. All right. Oh, he didn't take his second range attack with Madrak.
Fire doesn't go out.
Did we miss it? Did we just?
Maybe we missed it.
Oh, he looked like he's just conceding actually after the. So the fire roll didn't go out. He rolled very low on the damage.
Yeah.
And then he just went ahead and conceded right away.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Did we miss his second range attack with Madrak there?
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry, I might have been too excited looking away. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, he definitely did go ahead and concede there. I'm not sure if we missed one of the
ranged attacks there.
Madrak definitely gets to make a second range.
No,
attack
absolutely. His feet gives him a second one. So maybe it happened. But
it looks like he's only camping the one
troll
there, so we might have just missed it.
Maybe he didn't troll us at all. We trolled ourselves.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm blaming you, Jed. All right. So concession.
Oh, that's also possible too from someone in the chat. Yeah, he charged to get to where he was, so we only.
Oh.
There
yeah.
Okay.
Good
yep,
point.
You're right.
Good
You're
point.
right.
Yep.
Good call, chat.
All right. All right. Well, exciting round 4 today. First round of the day. A lot of assassination. A lot of dying Haleys, which I think most War Machine players are satisfied with.
Canada brought their team up to an early lead with a quick assassination by Chandler on Haley 3 on Joshua Bates Haley 3. And then Australia was quickly able to turn the tides back in their favor and get 3 games almost in a row.
From watching some of these games, kind of interesting. I would be almost willing to say that Australia won this match in
the list picking phase.
In the list selection phase.
Yep.
Because if we look, they sort of, as we discussed earlier, threw Josh to the wolves.
They threw Josh to the wolves.
But they got Trent on Charles, and then they got
very favorable.
And it looked like getting Thags to. I mean, that may have just been a mistake on Chris Orr's part, picking Veil 2 instead of the Thags 2 mirror match. But definitely Thags 2 into Veil 2. That was it felt like a more lopsided
I believe that Ben Leeper specifically prepared for
the
Legion mirror match. Legion being a very common addition to WTC teams,
yes.
And so that was that seemed. Just by looking at the outcome of the game, it was certainly something that they had. Prepared for.
Yeah. So victory to Team Wombat, and they will move on with a chance in the last 2 rounds to be WTC champions. So.
All right. So we are going to be going to lunch now, and we're going to be having a short break. And then we will go ahead and stream round 5 in, I would say, roughly like an hour and a half or so. Is that right? Yeah, hour and a half or 2 hours.
All right.
So, yep, go ahead and tune back in then for some more WTC 2015 coverage. Just a quick reminder as well, if you want to follow live updates for the day, wmh-wtc.com is where you can go. They are very, very good about updating all of the teams live as they report their results in. So you can follow your favorite teams and see
Absolutely.
how they're doing player by player.
Mine's Team Belgium. They're not doing well, but hopefully they beat the Danes today.
Yeah, looking very sharp today.
Thank you.
Your extra large European
Indeed,
shirt.
this is I think there's maybe a difference in sizes between American extra large and European extra large. Yeah.
All right. So this has been Chad and Josh. We'll see you guys in a little bit for round 5.
Yeah.